Hi everyone, we are the Bakers. I'm Erica, this is Brian, my husband, and we work online with couples just like you who are just looking for a little help in their relationship. We're really excited to come to you today because we are going to be talking about something that we don't want you to go alone in. With Brian's pastoral background and pastoral counseling that he's done with marriages and doing weddings and everything, and me helping in those premarital counseling sessions as well as marital counseling sessions in our own marriage that has made a drastic 180. We have been blessed to be able to help other couples, and so we've made it official now, launching last week. And we came out with our 4 needs quiz. So if you haven't taken that already, head over to thebakers.tv and you can check it out there. So tonight we are going to talk about
the importance of having a mentor or a coach.
Yes. So we actually have had the great availability of having 3 mentors step into our lives in the last, what has it been, a year and a half? I think so. And it's been awesome. I am so glad that it happened. Things have completely changed. It's been crazy. And one of the biggest reasons that I think that it's changed our lives so much is that it's called out stuff in our own lives, good things and bad things, that we've needed to bring light to the situation. And I think that it's really impacted us a lot. Some things that I actually even considered a weakness in our relationship and any relationships that I've had in my life. And one of those things was me being so sensitive. And I was always told my whole life, like, you're too sensitive. You need to get a better, callus on you or a backbone or something. And really, it turns out it's part of my gift. And once we realized that, it even impacted our marriage a lot. Made it so that Brian saw that as a gift and not a curse either. So now we have ways that we deal with that and the ways that we communicate through that. So having mentors has done a lot for us. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So having mentors and coaches, life coaches, all these things is something that's really around the world starting to make a huge impact, which is kind of crazy because there was this book written a couple thousand years ago that was like, you should disciple each other, or it's another way of saying mentor each other. Mm-hmm. It turns out it knew what it was talking about all the time. So but there are a lot of great articles that I was looking through from Forbes and Huffington Post and all of these great power writing places that are saying this might be a good idea, you should do it.
Yeah.
So and there are a lot of benefits to it, a lot of reasons to have a coach and to have people that are pouring into your life and that are there alongside you. So one of the biggest things is that other people have already made mistakes. So you basically have choices. You can learn from your own mistakes, which is painful. And not a very efficient process. No. Or you can talk to somebody that has made their own mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And instead of jumping into the same hole that they jumped into, you can be like, maybe we could build a bridge here.
Right.
And it just saves you a lot. So learn from other people's mistakes instead of your own.
Yeah.
A mentor will also help you balance your excitement. So when we start out with new things, a lot of times we go towards what we're excited about, whether it be a new relationship or a business endeavor or that dream that you've always wanted to go after, and we get super excited about it. And sometimes in that excitement, we're a little bit blind. I don't know why the movie Frozen comes to mind. Probably because our kids watch it all the time.
And constantly sing it. Let it go, let it go. That's like all they know.
So Anna falls head over heels in love with this guy that she just met. And there are a couple of people that speak into her life like, you don't even know his favorite color. You don't know anything about him. Maybe you want to slow that down a little bit. Not saying don't do it, just saying there might be
some
red
things
flags here.
some things you want to figure out before you marry them.
Yes.
Or if you've already married them, some things that you should ask before you move forward or figure out together.
So that was a rabbit trail.
Yeah, it was.
Disney movies took us all over the place.
That's
What
okay.
were we going with that?
That's okay.
So balancing excitement. So it's good to have those other voices in your mind to say, hey, I love that you were excited about that. Have you thought about this? Have you, where do you think that you're going to go when this obstacle arrives? What are you going to do so that you're still excited and you're also ready for those things that are coming? And then when you do run into obstacles or the excitement of something new, a new relationship, a new endeavor starts to wear off, then you can have somebody that comes into your life and says, hey, I remember when you were super excited about this because of this, and you knew that it was going to change other people's lives, and you knew it was going to change your lives. Let's get back into that. Let's get back excited about it, and let's get up off your tuchus and go after it again.
I like tuchus. Side note, our son, like, when he wipes his butt after going to the bathroom, he's 3, by the way, he's like, Dad, I'm wiping my tuchus. I'm like, dear Lord. I guess at least it sounds cute. It sounds cuter than butt.
I always try to text it, but I don't know how to spell that word.
Toukus, of course.
Sure.
Tuchus.
So, what else is great about
what
mentor?
we've covered is other people have already made the mistakes. We've covered that it balances your excitement when you have a mentor. And then the next thing would be accountability. That's like my favorite part, I think. I don't know if it just is because I'm a type A personality and I like need to get things done and I'm a doer, but I feel like the accountability part is the biggest part, especially in our relationship, because they're like, okay, so did you guys talk about XYZ? Yeah, I know that they're going to ask that, so we should probably do it. And I think that that's like the best part of having someone just there to draw things out in you, but also have that accountability aspect. That's been really big for us. I know I just literally got off an accountability call right before we went live today, and it was where we're going in our business with other, business people, and they've become family now, and that's what a mentor really is, or a coach really is. If you haven't experienced that, I was like, oh, that's really nice to always have someone who's always talking about how they have a coach or a mentor. I'm like, that's really cute, but like, no one wants to be my mentor or my coach, or wants to invest in my life. And I wish that I had that, and I never had the guts to ask for it or look for it. And I think that that's like the biggest thing is like, you need to take a chance and you need to ask what you want. And sometimes you might not know exactly what you want, but you want, what that person has, in a mentor. And so that was really cool. And so you don't get what you don't ask for. So ask, right? And so that's the next point is less stress and pain and frustration. Not reinventing the wheel. So like if someone's already been there, why bother going through that frustration? There was a quote that you had for that one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So with John C. Maxwell says, one of the greatest values of mentors is the ability to see ahead what others cannot see and to help them navigate course together to get to their destination. So that I think is really important, is people who are outside of you are seeing things that you normally don't see. And that's one of the biggest reasons that mentors and disciples or disciplers or whatever you want to call them it's good, is because they're not seeing what you see it. So
yeah, it's seriously like a DeLorean, like something that just takes you into the future to the places that you haven't been yet, and then you can learn from it and then come back to
present day
with all of the knowledge that you could have gained from the future.
Yeah.
So it also gives you another benefit of coaches is that it gives you fresh and new ideas. So if you are working on something on your own, you might be a hard worker, you might be brilliant, but you are one brilliant person working alone. So when you have other people that are recommending things and saying, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried that? You
Mm-hmm.
get new ideas, you get new perspectives, and you get the perspectives of everything that everybody else has taught them. So it just makes exponentially your life more profitable and more beneficial when you have those new ideas.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The next part would be another reason why it's good to have a mentor and why you need one would be get insights to yourself. And I think this really plays into our coaching, our relationship coaching roles that we play with our family. I don't even know what to call them because I feel like they're just family. They're not clients or customers or whatever. Like it's just family. And so getting insights into yourself, we're often unaware of the reasons we do things or what are even behind those reasons. Like maybe my reason is my need for Brian to affirm what I do and who I am. But why do I have that need? So it's even like taking it a couple levels back. So why do I have that need? Well, did it stem from something that happened to me when I was younger, when I was in school or with my parents? And then work on that even a little bit to say, okay, well, this is a lie that I've bought into about myself, that I'm not worthy, because of XYZ happening to me. How do we work with that? And then, so having all of those outside resources and the other person who's looking out from the outside to ask those questions, well, why do you feel that way? Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Let me think about that. So it's really good to have someone who's, experienced those situations with other people and who can speak into your relationship and that your communication. A lot of the time when we're dealing with relationships, it's not, it really usually doesn't have to do with the two of you. It has to do with how you interact with your own baggage together. So when we're getting in a fight, it really has nothing to do with anything Brian actually did or said. It has to do with what the things he did or said impacted a part of my heart that was hurt or that I had baggage, and then vice versa. And when it gets really bad, when we have really bad fights, it's because his wounding got hurt at the same time mine did, and then it's just all over. So if you are cognizant of that, if you are aware of that happening, that takes 50% of the heat out of the argument out. Because you're like, okay, well, why are we feeling this way? Because we know that it's really not truly, what Brian just said. Mm-hmm. It's because it nicked, a wound of something else that hasn't healed. And so that's what's been awesome, is that we've been able to do that through our own lives and help other people realize things like that. And that's why we've become coaches and have been coaching for almost 5 years now. So it's awesome when you have that light bulb moment where they're like, oh man. Like I was just talking to one of the couples that we helped today, and she's like, Erica, you and Brian changed our lives, like our entire marriage, and the 1 hour conversation we had with you guys via video, like you completely changed things for us. And so, hearing reminders of that is what powers us on a daily basis to keep going and to keep pushing, the information that we have out there, trying to help you guys as much as possible, trying to hear what your needs are. Like that, it just kind of summarizes, what fuels us. And so that, coming from the coaching perspective, I think is important to know.
And we started out there talking about the getting insight into yourself, and a lot of times we don't even recognize things about ourselves because we only know what we have seen. And especially in marriage, you only get to see usually one marriage really growing up that you live with. Mm-hmm. So you grow up and you're like, oh, well, that's just how people interact, and that's how people communicate. And if I'm upset about something, I'm just going to do this because that's what people do. Mm-hmm. And then you have this outside voice that has seen a different marriage and has hopefully had other coaches and other mentors that can say, that there are other options, right? Like that thing that you're doing is all you've ever known, but there are other options. You can speak to each other with kindness. Like that's the thing. But you don't know those things.
Don't have to be snippy all the time. What? Wait, what? I know those sound like common sense things, but it really is true. And for those of you who've started experiencing that, I'm sure that hasn't been the first time that you've heard that or realized that. So, and then the last thing that having coaching or coach or a mentor brings to you is the fact that you get greater confidence. It has really given me confidence just to know someone else is in my corner, right? Having to know that we have someone rooting for us, we have someone praying for us, we have someone who is investing in us on a monthly, weekly, however often we talk with them basis. All of our coaching calls are monthly, but it seems like we have one every week because we have 3 mentors each. So it's been awesome. And one of the things that you definitely need to make sure is that you're taking the right voices and letting them speak into your life. You have to be very particular about it. You want to make sure that it's not somebody who's super negative, although pointing out the hard things is part of being a coach or being a mentor. It's somebody that you want to, at the end of the day, breathe life into your dreams and who you are. So those are the reasons that that really having a mentor or coach is so important. It's not even funny. And so there are a couple quotes that we put together to share with you guys that to let you know that we're not the only ones who feel this way. And it's not for anyone who's just in business or doing certain things. It's like any aspect of your life, right? So like you go to the doctor when you're sick, and he's essentially a coach or a mentor in that area of your life, right? You go and when you have, what other than doctors? I know that there are other things. We were just talking about this the other day.
Finances.
Well, yeah. So you have a financial advisor when you need something with your finances. You basically have a consultant for all areas of your life. You have a tax accountant or a TurboTax, whatever. You have to go somewhere for these specialty items. You have people that you look to for food help. Right? And developing recipes, or if you're lucky to have those pre-made meals, like where you just ships to your door, all ingredients ready to go, and then you just throw it in the skillet and mix it up and it works. And I think that's awesome. We just can't afford that. But I mean, you go to all these different things in different areas of our life. It should be okay, and it is okay for you to consult somebody for your relationship. And it's important that you do, because if your relationship's crumbling, it affects every single area of your life. And so I feel like it's almost imperative as much as like your physical health. So I think that everybody needs to have a coach and a mentor, and I think especially in the relationship aspect. So,
absolutely.
And then we were going to go over the quotes that we
had. Yes.
So Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." And so if you're of faith, that totally speaks to you. And if you're not, I feel like it should too, because there are some wise things that are said in the Bible. Clint Eastwood, that's funny. What I think the mentor gets is the great satisfaction of helping somebody along, helping somebody to, what is
helping
that?
Helping somebody
take advantage of an opportunity that maybe he or she did not have. So I think that that's really important. And then Oprah says, a mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope inside yourself. And I think that that's a great one to end on. So,
and a quote about mentoring from Oprah is especially important, because Oprah was mentored by two people. Like everything that I was looking into as we were researching this, Oprah is just like all about mentoring, and part of that is because she was mentored by Maya Angelou and Barbara Walters.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that some of these people that had mentors. So Bill Gates was mentored by Warren Buffett. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
How cool would that be if you could get that dream team?
I didn't know this. Mark Zuckerberg was mentored by Steve Jobs. Did you guys know that? Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And Frank Sinatra was mentored by Bing Crosby. Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So there was a quote that I actually found today that I wanted to share with you guys in particular about this. Let me see if I can get it up here real quick. Mentoring, successful people never reach their goals alone. So if you want to be successful in whatever area, you need to remember that you don't get there alone. So we are here to help in the relationship aspect, and we would love the opportunity to serve you in any way. If you want to just kind of get a feel for who we are and what we do, especially if you're rewatching this video, you can head over to our website, thebakers.tv, or on our Facebook page. You can also find us at The Bakers TV. And we're really excited because we came out with a 4 core needs quiz where you can find out your core need as well as how to deal with it in before conflict and after conflict, what actions to do and things to avoid, which has been really helpful in our marriage. And so you can figure out which need you have. Mine is thoughtfulness and yours is empowerment. And so if you guys let us know what yours is, we'd love to hear some feedback on your thoughts on it. It's just a free quiz that we have over on our website. So thank you guys for joining us. And we are going to be doing these weekly on different topics. So I'm really excited to start doing this intentionally. So yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. And for those of you who join us on replay, thank you so much for watching. And we love you. God bless.
See ya.